11 months has passed since the putting together, if you will, of this pizza oven, and I just thought I'd like to just clear up a few things. So the first thing as such is the cast iron base. If you overheat this, all you're going to do is completely scorch the bottom of your pizza. So the most important thing that I've found in using this is making sure that this is the right temperature, that the pizza oven itself, the lid, will be hot regardless, and that will very quickly overpower everything. So the most important thing is that your base is the correct temperature. The base is what's going to give you a pizza that crisp bite on the bottom. Right, so the way I've done that, there's a hole I've drilled. I don't know if you can just see. You can just see that. There's a little hole in there which I've drilled. It's about a 4mm hole. This is just a cheap temperature probe. I think it was Aldi or somewhere like that. It was about £6 or £7, something like that. That goes in there. So bear in mind that is probably halfway through the thickness of this. So if I put this on there, this is not on at the minute. This is not hot. So if I put that in there, that is halfway through, or thereabouts, through the thickness of that cast iron plate. So if I turn this on, this reaches, I don't know, 450 degrees Celsius. The surface might reach that temperature, but that temperature will take a while to go through this cast iron to actually activate this temperature probe, so it can read that way. Now, what I've determined is that if this temperature probe, now this actually shuts off at 300 degrees C. So if it's any more than 300 degrees C, it just says HHH, which I'm assuming is hot. But if it's anything anywhere near that or above that, all it does is scorch the base of the pizza. So I've determined around about 280, 290 degrees is round about where I want to be actually putting the pizza onto that base. Now I've no idea, without using a temperature probe, which I'm not going to do because it doesn't really work that well. Sorry, a laser temperature sensor on this. It doesn't really work that well. It reads all kinds of things. But if this reads about 280, 290, and I put a pizza on there at that, then that's going to work fine. And it may just mean that I need to take the lid off the pizza for maybe about, I don't know, 30 seconds, something like that, just to let the base just finish cooking, and that's it, that's done. So somebody's asked in the previous video how long it takes to get to 450 degrees C. So obviously this is now room temperature. This is not on. This is 21.5, something like that, 21 degrees, something like that. So that's in there. You'll have to read this upside down so you can see the temperature there. So I'm going to leave this. I'm going to set this going. This you will see the temperature there on the gauge. It will quickly get round to that 450 degrees. But you will also see that this, you'll have to read this upside down, but you will see the time it will take for that to get to around about 280, 290, and that is the point where I would start putting the pizza in. You don't want to then turn this upside down because any heat in there will be lost. But I would move that to one side. I'd put that over there, put the pizza on, and then put that down. So we'll do that now. So from now we'll start this. Keep your eye on that temperature. Keep your eye on that temperature. I'll put that in the middle there so you can see that, and we'll see how long it takes to get to that high temperature. Just to warm the plate up. So we are at 440 degrees. I have a little alarm on this that tells me when it gets to 270. Okay, so that plate's hot. We're about 445 degrees C on the gauge on the oven, and this says 280. Okay, so we're pretty much where we need to be for cooking a pizza, albeit we're going to do a garlic bread now. But the question was asked, how long does it take to get to 450 degrees C? So just getting down level with this, we're still 445. You probably call 445 close enough, to be fair, but when this gets to 290, which we're 286 now, 287, I'm going to call that good enough. We'll probably be about 450 anyway. And I'll put the garlic bread on. You can time that if you wish. This homemade pizza paddle. Right, that's 291 on there. I'm going to take that out for no other reason than we don't need that now. That is 449. I'm going to call that near enough. That's pretty good. Right, there we go. Now you will see this puff up very quickly with the lid on, and I'm going to take it off very shortly and just pop some bubbles. This is not something you can quickly walk away from, because you will see very short this will pop up like a balloon. That line there is where it's puffed up and the elements actually burst the balloon. As soon as the top is done, turn the oven off. You don't need to worry about that anymore. It's just the base that is going to be doing the rest of the cooking. That's fine. Turn that off. I'm going to call that pretty much done. So stop your timer there.